Okay. Here we are. Once again. Da, 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 da. Okay. Hi, Elaine Marolakos Edelson with Astrology Mojo. Want to help you get your mojo back. If you're new to me and this series that I do twice a week, then you may not know that I say that the planets in astrology don't make you do anything. That we live in a cooperation with the cosmos. So that when the planets make a move, you feel it. When you make a move, the planets reflect that by way of aspects and angles in astrology. So, basically, astrology just tells you what time it is. It doesn't make you do anything. Please understand that, because it's time for evolution on so many levels right now. Whoops. And one of them is old, outdated beliefs. Okay? That's like one of the main ones. And I know it can be shocking to some people, especially some other astrologers who really believe, and it's okay, they really believe that planets are causing things. The relationship that we have to every single thing on this earth is a collaboration. Other than that, we're at the mercy of. And I don't think so. I just don't. So please understand that before we go any further. Today we're going to be talking about something that's really fun. My husband helped me to distill, retrograde planets and eclipses. And Dean said to me, well, what does it mean to people? What does it mean to people who don't know astrology? And I was like, oh, well, he said, how to deal with what you can't see. And I was like, yes, I got to go write that down. That's what it is. So how to deal with what you cannot see. That's what we're talking about today. So come and say hello to me. Let me know that you're here. And it's funny because before I spoke to Dean, I pulled a card from Colette Baron Reid's The Enchanted Map. And literally, it is literally into the unknown. Look at that. Into the unknown. Into the unknown. How to deal with what you can't see. And the other card that I pulled from Colette's Enchanted Map series of oracle cards. Details. And so I would say that, now is a great time to, number one, focus on focus on the things that you can handle, the things that you have been meaning to get to. In our garden, we have some solar lights, and I've been meaning to clean out the battery contacts and replace them, or throw them out if I can't fix it. And so things like that. Cleaning, dusting, organizing, especially with paperwork right now, as Mercury is now direct, yay, in the sign of Cancer. The mysteries that come up from the deep and the emotional self are still here because we're still in that sign of Cancer. And Mercury is still in the sign of Cancer. So our communication is dream-worthy, deep, profound, emotional, sensitive, and dealing possibly with the breasts or the chest area in a man, the stomach issues, and I'll show you what we're looking at astrologically in just a sec. I sound drunk, don't I? Astrologically in just a second. But when things start to happen that you cannot put your finger on, or you can't seem to grasp. What, wait a minute, I had a feeling. What does that remind me of? I can't remember, but I have the feeling of it. Then we're not going to strain our brain too much to try to articulate if we can't. But if you can get a sense of that feeling that you have, is it positive, negative, or neutral? That feeling that keeps recurring. Is it something that inspires you or weighs you down? Is your intuition growing because of it? Are you inspired? Are you feeling motivated and activated to do something with it? Or are you feeling sad, grievous, held back? So lots can happen now, and it has been happening. Hey, hi, Sage is here. And Ronnie, hi. And what's been happening on the emotional, unconscious, subconscious, non-conscious level, it's all activated. It's all like, woo! I needed grounding today, so instead of putting a background of, something starry and celestial, I needed my backyard. Let's stay on the path, folks. Even in the dark, when you're doing that, stay on the path. And so how do you deal with things that you can feel but you cannot see, you can't articulate? That would typically be a Neptune issue in astrology, but there's so many retrograde planets right now that, and let me just show you, instead of miming planets. Okay. So, if you can see this, I can make it a little bigger. All right, so the sun is in Cancer, Mercury is in Cancer, and Venus in Gemini. Uranus is in Taurus, making a spiritual angle to the sun. And I'll talk about that in a second. Moon is in Aries, Mars in Aries, Neptune is retrograde in Pisces, its natural placement in the constellation Pisces. Saturn in Capricorn, Pluto in Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn, all retrograde. All right, so 4 retrograde planets versus 4 direct planets, and then there's the sun and the moon. So what we're actually looking at is coming to terms. You see the purple opposition lines that go between this trifecta here and the sun. Those are oppositions. And so when the sun is opposite, it sheds light on a masculine energy, figure, person, bringing up from the unconscious self, the core, the shore of your unconscious self, Pluto, the authority, who's in charge, who was in charge, who did you deem grandpa, dad, boss, your version of God, and then Jupiter, expansion, but on what level? And beliefs. So when we're looking at this, it's what masculine figure might come into your life or in your dream state. And it can be starseed, it can be a passed on loved one, it can be someone that you used to date or have been married to, someone that you're estranged from, or you just parted ways because it was time. An old boss, a mentor, someone that comes into the forefront now because of the sun, but is pulling out of you. That is the opposition. Oppositions are not always negative. People in astrology will say, oh, opposition, look out, smack in the face, sucker punch. Okay, maybe, yeah, depending on you, your karma. Remember, the planets are just telling us what time it is for you. That's all. They're not saying, it's time for you to get punched or betrayed or flattened by a thing outside yourself. No, it's time for you to become aware of that thing inside of you that is projected outward that creates the situation and the matter, the stuff you can touch, the people you know and are affected by. And then that comes back into your face and you go, oh my gosh, they just did that. Well, without you, they are not there, right? You are the only reason that they exist in your life. They exist for other reasons in their life and to other people. Does that make sense? So I'll share. I have been working on letting go of certain issues, of course, and healing my body and going to the next ascension level of awareness. That's been my focus for many years. And so when I see this lineup and I say, ooh, I eat my imaginary popcorn because I'm strict keto and I don't eat any kind of carbs that raise blood sugar. But I'm eating my imaginary popcorn saying, what's the show? What's the show going to show me? What's my internal self doing now? And I had a dream about my dad. My dad is gone today 14 years. And he's a very empathetic, fun, loving, kind, compassionate, very smart person. But because of his own issues, he wasn't always there emotionally and couldn't be because of his own stuff, which I don't blame him for. But I see the thread of it running through my life. And I'm like, okay, you deal so much with a pattern and then you say, well, it's time to go to the next level. So you have even more healing and transformation. Yeah, let's bring it on. So I have a dream that I'm doing a bunch of stuff, learning. And there's a book I need to go get. And I'm in a house that's not mine, but there's a workshop happening next door. I live next door to the facility, which is housing all of these workshops. And I am going to go get my book that I forgot. And I run home and I see my parents. Both my parents have passed on. And so I see them and I go, hey, you guys, I'm so happy to see you. Oh my gosh. And then, my mom's smiling and laughing and I go and my father gives me a hug that I still feel. Now, my father's been with me since he left and even more since he left because he would help me with clients or give me advice or information. And so the hug that my dad gave me in this dream, I just woke up. I was sobbing half the day yesterday. And not so much because I miss him, because I'm still with him and we still talk and we're still very much in tune with one another, but because what came up in the sob was his childhood, his pattern, that the thread continued, the DNA strands continued to my world. And so when I look at that, and after, an hour or two of sobbing and meditating and tapping and just being with it and talking to him and then talking to Dean about it so I could further express it. It's not a place I'm going to stay. See, this is the nebula. And it's like wherever I went yesterday, there were pools of water. Seriously. And like mystically, I have a jug of water that it is an emptied out thing I use to water plants. And next to it is a spray bottle that's filled with water, and they're both sitting on the floor by the back door. And this morning I look down and I see, oh my God, no, this was last night. I look down and I go, oh my gosh, one of them is leaking. So I pick up the spray bottle, I wipe it off, I don't see a crack, I put it out on the front walkway. I do the same. I lift the container, the big jug, like a 2-gallon jug of water. I look for cracks and with nothing. I dry it off. I put it out on the front walkway. I wipe up the little puddle on the floor and it's gone. And maybe half an hour later, I go outside and I look. There is not one drop on the ground. Where did the puddle come from? I don't know. It's a mystery. I can't see the logic right? So how do you deal with what you can't see? I took it as, okay, it's unsolved mystery. Okay, random. Okay, fine. Well, now turn to another area of my dining room, and we have a big, what would you call it? Like a dispenser, with a little nozzle. And I've got water in it halfway in with certain stones to clean the water. And again, there's a puddle of water. And I'm like, what the heck? I lift it up, I wipe it off. Is there a crack? Is it the nozzle? Is it leaking? Is it nothing? I move it to a different part of the dining room on a plate. There's no water. Nothing's dripping. Nothing has leaked. The seal is good. Another puddle of water. And I thought, okay, so if somehow my environment is mirroring back to me these little pools of water that represented all my sobs, I feel great today. I feel energetic. I'm not sad. I let go so much in just talking about the thing. So these are the details now that come into play when we talk about facing the unknown, into the unknown, and those details. What are those details? So in talking about it to my husband yesterday, like, this is what happened to my dad when he was 4 and 5, and this is what happened to him later. This was my memory of this, and all these little details that came out, like the memories were springing up like a well. Clue. And then, I just sobbing. And I let that go. And then there was the dream of Dad hugging me. And I was like, yeah, I love you. This is awesome. And just the reminder that it's just something we hold on to, that we are not always conscious of. Okay, so I want you to look at your own life right now. Hi, Alicia. And Deb is here. Hi. So if you're just joining us, we're talking about how to deal with the things you cannot see. Because with 4 retrograde planets, 3 eclipses, and a partridge in a pear tree, stuff's going to happen. Oh, and on Saturday, I think I posted on I posted on both my Facebook pages, the business page, Astrology Mojo, and my personal page, that I had a reading with a gal in Germany, Tanya Masters, and energy cards and such. And she validated everything that was going on for me. Very powerful. And so look to what's going on inside of you. Let's get down to business now with, again, Stacy, hi. When you see Jupiter in retrograde, and it's all in Capricorn, opposite the Sun in Cancer, a masculine energy is going to be the catalyst now for your specific healing. Then something from the unconscious. It could be a neighbor. It could be a nephew. It could be a friend. It could be a father, a grandfather, a brother, a husband, a lover. Someone who's in your life now or was. Or your own masculine energy, fighting with your feminine energy. So I want you to look at the part of you right now that is feeling kind of lost or scattered, or what do I do now? Or it's COVID season. Is that a thing now? It's our new pandemic. My husband's reading a book now on 1918 and the other pandemic and what people did and how medicine evolved, etc. And we were talking about this yesterday, and I said, well, for the kids graduating high school and college now, it's going to be, when they get older, it's going to be, remember the days, when we had the plague? But we don't want to let this define us, but yet help to shape us. So I want you to look at the things that are really bothering you, okay, that keep recurring. Oh, I can't put my finger on it. Every time I talk to this person, I just feel, I feel something. I get annoyed, or I have this expectation and it's never met. Or I just got a Facebook hello from someone I went to high school with. What? Or I just discovered this old poem I wrote when I was 15 about a guy I was so in love with. Whatever the thing is that you find that comes up, because 4 retrograde planets means the past is coming back and it's meant for you to look within. And with the sun pulling, the sun is the spotlight. It is the day that is the moment, that is the season of now. That's what the sun represents in astrology, now, and also a masculine presence. So when the sun is opposite these retrograde planets, it's all about you discovering, oh, what's that feeling? Or that reminds me of that time. Or I just spoke with someone I dated 30 years ago. Or I feel so sad because I just found out one of my favorite teachers passed away, so it's whatever the past brings up in you, the sentimentality, that need to purge. What are your little pools of water that represent that unconscious self? Those pools of water that we found in our house, we have no reasonable, logical, intellectual explanation for. Nothing is leaking, yet here is water that is pooling and not drying up. I mean, we live in the desert, high desert. So, you got to hydrate often, you got to mist, you got to, yeah. But these pools of water just hung out for me to represent some part of my unconscious that was ready to be sopped up, wrung out, done, healed. So I want you to look at that. And then, once you do that, oh, there's more. Hang on. Hey, Diana. Okay. A quintile. Oh, it's a quintile. People go, a quintile is just 77 degrees in astrology. What does it really mean? So a quintile to me, and through my studies and experiences, is when you see a Q, 77 degrees, and we see it between Uranus and Taurus and the sun in Cancer. To me, a quintile is a very spiritual connection. Now, because Uranus represents rebellion, erraticism, erratic behavior, or innovative. But in the sign of Taurus is very valuable, it's very grounded, it's very structured. So the combination with the sun, masculine energy, person, place, or thing, that to you is masculine, even part of your own masculine self, quintiling Uranus, it's like, where would you like to take action right now that has value for you? Where? Where would you like to do that? Just asking. If you're just joining us, we are talking about the ability to move through a situation when how do you handle something that you cannot see? Now you can journal, that's a practical thing. Remember, Uranus and Taurus, quintiling the sun in Cancer, is asking you, what is the real matter? When people say, what's the matter? Well, the answer is you're the matter. And you're the matter that's creating the matter. Isn't that magical? I think that's so magical. Some people don't. But what is it that you're doing that's creating that next moment? What's that next step? So I want you to pick one project, minimum, 2 maximum. We're not going to get scattered in all these retrogrades. And if it's an emotional thing around money, security, setting up business or enacting business, these are all the practical Capricorn energy, ambition, and or physically, hormones, bones, skin, teeth, joints. Let's get practical around those. And also the sun would be Cancer, stomach, breasts, or chest if you're a man, or non-binary. And the ability to nurture, self-care, put a boundary on helping others. That is the Cancer Capricorn axis, is that in and of itself. All right. So where can you do those things on no more than 2 projects? Oh, you might say, yeah, I've had my back has been, so I'm healing my back right now. Okay. So 3 things a day that you do to help to support your back. And one of them is maybe not doing, like, yeah, let's not mow the lawn or pick up those heavy chairs to hose them down on the patio. Let's really do self-care right now. Maybe you need to see the dentist and you're terrified because, COVID. Well, our dentist set it up where they were only taking 3 patients in an hour. And no one ever made contact. And everyone had masks on and shields, aside from blowtorches to kill anything in our way. It was very clean. And so, teeth, skin, bones. My sister has a cancer. And happy birthday, Laura. This was yesterday. And I got her a facial, like a, what do you call it? Microderm abrasion little machine. She was so excited. And she's like, yes, I've been researching that. I can't believe it. You got that for me. And I said, well, it must have been on the airwaves because I bought it in April before the retrogrades. And so there's little things that can be happening, and it's not all negative. It's not. But because we are people, we're humans who get really attached to stuff, I would say let's clear out the negative stuff so that it really opens the door to the positives. Positives, positives. So, right? Does that make sense? Okay? So there's whatever your ambition is, and if you're working on skin, teeth, joints, bones, nails, hair, you can research the things that help to support you and engage those things daily. Remember, the sun in Cancer is opposite 3 heavy-duty retrograde planets, and it's pulling out of your unconscious, subconscious, non-conscious self. Maybe it's an old memory of dad. Maybe it's time to forgive this, whatever, the situation, this person. But it's going to feel so masculine. And it can be, well, my grandmother was like, a stormtrooper. Okay, it could be a woman, but if she was like tough, it can be that too. Like a masculine energy doesn't always mean male. Keep that in mind, okay? So is this making sense? Alicia, your birthday is today. Everybody, let's sing. Happy birthday to you. Cancer sun and Capricorn moon. Okay, well then this is really applicable. So let this be your birthday present today. Born July 13th. That I would say focused on family this year, focused on nurturing self and others, focused on the ability to not overstep your boundaries and not cross over into theirs. That's like, you got to have tight boundaries for that. So, which means you can say, I've heard people say, oh yeah, I got that from my father. Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I remember my mother used to do, yeah, I do that too. Well, if it's not serving you, now's the time to let it go. That's what the retrograde planets are saying. Whether it's an addiction to a thing, a chemical, a behavior, a pattern. With the Capricorn energy, it can be, oh yeah, I got to get that work done. And then you don't stretch your body. You don't get up and walk around. And suddenly your bones ache at the end of the day. So it's not about being stoic. Okay? Oh, she says, seriously? Yeah, seriously. You know what I'm talking about. And it's not about being stoic. It's about being responsive to who you are in the moment that you are, that thing. So like what I was just saying earlier about all these pools of water in my house where nothing is leaking. Okay, it's not logical, but yet the sentimentality in me, the dream I had about my father hugging me to help me as I worked through that DNA strand of the same unhealthy pattern. And it was just letting it go. Crying is releasing. There's different types of cry. Cry is like the way the body can release certain emotions. But some cries they don't resolve themselves. It's just like it's an ongoing complaint, and the only way to express it out of the body is to cry, but not actually take action or do anything to solve. So, but sometimes it is the release. So when you know the difference and you let it go, it's like, oh my gosh, I felt 1,000 pounds lighter when I let that go. It's profound. So my dad came to me to say, I'm here for you. Let's help you work that part out. And I know that it helped me because I woke up, as I said earlier, I woke up feeling really energetic and inspired and excited and yeah, the way it ought to be, right, folks? Okay, if you're just joining us, oh wait, people are talking. I haven't even noticed. I'm sorry. Wait, let me just move the chat over here and let me chime in with the folks. Ronnie says, I always get confused since I have no water in my natal chart. But you do have water in your natal chart. You may not have planets in water, okay? So let me just show you the screenshot. If you are a person who doesn't have a planet or sun or moon in water, you still have water in your house, okay? In your chart. So see here, there's Pisces right there. That's a water sign. You have Pisces in your chart. It rules one of your houses. You also have Cancer ruling one of your houses. Now, if you've got Pisces, this is a little astrological tip and lesson. If you've got, okay, let's say Pisces on the cusp of the 7th house, let's look to see where Neptune is, because Neptune guides Pisces. Oh, it's in the 7th house. So this person would be dealing with relationship issues. Water. If you've got the cusp of your 11th house is Cancer, Cancer is guided by the moon. So where is the moon? Oh, there's the moon. So it has to deal with 8th house issues. Legacy, estate planning, insurance matters, debt, etc. So you do have water in your chart. The house cusp is rules a certain planet, which is roaming around somewhere in your chart. Hope that makes sense. Okay. Leanne, hi. And Casey said, late again. You're not ever late. Always on time. Always on time. Leanne, hi. I'm a Cancer Sun, Virgo Moon. I've been very, very upset, stressed, and fearful the past few days. Well, to those people who are feeling something, and if it's not about a specific thing, like, I have a cousin who's about to drop off her son to college next month, and she's a little terrified. And another cousin who's contemplating putting her mother in a nursing home, terrified. So to each, I have said, okay, look for and ask for a calm, clear, healthy sign about what to do, protecting people in a energetic bubble. Also, if you're not sure, and this is the thing that we're talking about today, if you're not sure about, how to deal with what you cannot see, you may not know what the fear is related to. That's where you need to take care of your body, mind, spirit all together. Every day anyway, right? You want that alignment. So body, mind, spirit all together means, are you hungry? Eat. Are you hydrated? Make sure. Are you, have you taken a shower, washed your hair, your hands, your body? Are you groomed? You Virgo moon. You would be the first one to groom or get that thing cleaned. Also, what else do you need for your mental frame of mind? Maybe it's a piece of music that you can just relax and say, I need to take a break. Self-care. Spirituality, body, mind, spirit. It's meditating, it's pondering, it's gazing at a flower. It's utilizing photography. It's utilizing so many tools that are on this planet, including these exercises, to pull yourself out of stress. And also there are supplements and herbs and things that you can research. What helps me, ashwagandha helps me, taking the right amount of magnesium. Now, magnesium oxide is not so bioavailable, so you have to take it every couple of hours to keep it in your body. Research that, talk to your doctor. Magnesium citrate will help you move it if you're constipated. Magnesium glycinate and threonate are the ones that really help reduce the stress. You take that before bed. Talk to your doctor. Research it. And help you sleep through the night. So there are things you also SAMe. I take the chewable kind on days where I feel like high wire, high wire tension act. So I'll just bite into the chewable, take maybe 100 milligrams, and okay. So you want to research these things and understand that your biology needs you, your mind needs you, and your spirit is always there trying to guide you if you would listen. Are you listening? Does that make sense? Okay. I'm coming back always on Thursday, and I'm not sure yet what we're going to discuss on Thursday, but maybe we'll just see what's happening in the stars and the planet and the planets, because Mercury is now direct, but however, even though it guides our perceptions and technology along with Uranus, but it's not doing it to us. It just represents that we want to be a little bit more alone maybe right now, or be sentimental, or heal something from the past, or cook or bake or nurture, or just kind of just chill. Literally, put on an air conditioner, a little portable fan that can mist you, and because it's a water sign, and you just stay hydrated and just under the radar right now. Because then, when any planet goes from direct to retrograde and retrograde from direct, there's typically a 10-day. Some people have it longer depending on the sign and the placement in their chart. But there's a 10-day, readjustment phase. Of what? Wait, what? Did I forget something? One of my favorite Patrick Nagel paintings from the 80s is this woman, totally shocked, and the caption is, "I can't believe I forgot to have children." So that's what it's going to feel like at the end of this week. So let's take it slow. We're still in the retrograde phase. We're still deciphering dreams, learning about what we really want. So focus on no more than 2 projects now in the next couple of weeks, and allow your body, mind, spirit to be part of the team. It's like you're not going to sit for 6 hours and not eat because you got to get it finished. That's called stinginess. That's called deprivation. Things that the negative Capricorn energy is famous for. And we don't want that. You want to be ambitious, yes. Appropriate, caring, compassionate. The ideal citizen. Nice to meet you. The ideal citizen. Yeah, right. I know, Casey says, I love retrograde. Me too, actually. There's so many. Diana says, double Capricorn with Cancer moon and other planets have also been an interesting time. Yeah, you got to know where the boundaries are, know what it is you want to proceed with, but remember to take care of yourself in the process because, and I'll show it to you one last time, folks. There it is. The Sun in Cancer, opposite, 3 retrogrades. Come on. It's like, as I said, and it's just this feeling like I felt in the past couple of days. Focused on physical, emotional well-being, healing. My bones have been aching. I started a program called OsteoStrong, and it's a national program developed by a doctor, PhD guy whose mother had horrible osteoporosis. And so the signs in my body are leaning toward that. I'm having a Saturn return, Pluto on the ascendant, Capricorn rising, all the bone issues, right? Or it could be hormones for you, or it could be teeth or skin or nails or joints. So when I go to OsteoStrong, I don't look to like I would have in the past, like, you're going to kill it. Because they have specific exercises you do that literally trigger hormone from the brain, the chemical that tells the bone to rebuild. Steve Austin, we have the technology, we can rebuild him. And that's how I feel when I go in there. It's like I find the place in my body that says, I have to get a certain position and certain things, and then I do the exercise and I go, oh, I'm done. It's not done. I'm done. so that I don't overdo it. And I think that's important for you to recognize too, whether you're got Cancer or Capricorn in planets or not, that the whole time frame that we're looking at right now is to pick those things, one or two, don't overload, right? Because ambition comes into play, and it's like, yeah, I can get 17 things off my list, you know. And by the end of the day, you're Jello in a pool on the floor. Talk about those pools. Yes. So remember, folks, I wanted to say Vegemita vitamin. Take care of your body. Take care of your mind. Remember, the planets aren't doing anything to you. Jupiter is expansion. Pluto is the shore of your unconscious self, what I call TNT for the psyche. It's like a mind-blowing, I get it now. I see the root, the cause, why I do this or don't do that, why I've been so fearful, so terrified, so dismissive of my own inner power. I get it now. And then you take tiny steps. That's what Saturn helps you to do, is to retool the plan. You know, it's like, if that didn't work, well, let me try this. And maybe I'll ask some people for help, right? Remember, we've got Uranus and Taurus, quintile. That's 77 degrees. It's a very spiritual angle, the sun. So it's whatever you feel is practical, nurturing, but yet innovative for you. It's like, I think I'm going to go do a parachute jump, someone once said to me. And I said, oh, where are you going? And they said, Pittstown. And I was like, really? You couldn't pick some other place? Anyway, they had a great time, and they overcame a fear. In tandem, of course, with the guy who did it. And this was before, you know, The Walking Dead series part 14 showed up here. So do what you can to stay clear, to stay clean, to stay healthy, stay present. Okay, well, I'm glad that you found this helpful. Pass it along. If you're just joining me, you can catch the replay here on Facebook, astrologymojo.com. Also on YouTube, eventually by the end of every week or so, I upload the videos and have them time-stamped, if appropriate, for YouTube. And just stay with me and come back. I'll be back on Thursday. Bring your friends, your family, your relatives, people you think might benefit by this. Share. It's nice to share. Okay, we're not going to use the word nice ever unless we're talking about a sandwich. Okay? All right, I will be back. Stay healthy. Stay present. Write down those dreams, that sensation you can't put a finger on. Just get clear on it emotionally with a feeling state. And then that opens up the intuition. And then you go, oh, I could add a V8. Okay. Thank you. I wish you peace. Be well. I'll be back Thursday.